to your creativity and tune into the Voice of Woe podcast.
Oh, whoa, daddy. It's your boy, Andy Bivians, on another episode of the Voice of Woe podcast, coming straight live to you from Studio Woe. That's right, I said it, coming straight live to you here at Studio Woe. We finally have made it to the studio. We finally have made it to the board, to the microphone. That's why I sound clear. That's why I sound better. That's why I sound like I have more energy, because I'm looking at 4 new walls instead of the 4 walls in my house sitting on my couch. Once again, I'd like to thank you guys for rocking with me here at the Voice of Woe podcast. Thank you guys for joining me on this journey here at the Voice of Woe podcast. Listen, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey. We ain't even seen the summer. We've been inside. Now we outside, but we've been inside. And this episode is going to be a lot about taking action, right? Moving forward with things, being able to push forward. But first, I'd like to also say, so I don't forget it this episode, because I forget it all the episodes, the Woe Effect course is live. It is live. You can get your access today at studiowoe.com/order woe. That's studiowoe.com/order woe. I know all y'all that are close to me and know me thought I was sitting on my behind while I've been injured. I have not. I have been creating this program, this course, for so long. It's something that I've wanted to do. It's been a passion project of mine, and it's something that I wanted to do to help people kind of re-spark that light inside themselves, right? Get their mind going, get their mind flowing, start pushing in the energy, pushing in the direction that they want to go. Start living their life for them and not living their life for anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So if you want access to that, if you want access to the Thrillborn community, go to studiowoe.com/order woe. You can gain access today, and I can't wait to see you inside. So today, we're going to talk about action, right? Because I feel like that is the vibe, right? That is the movement, that's the flow, that's the progress of life, is taking action. And recently, I watched a Jim Rohn seminar. It was 4 hours long. And I sat on my couch the entire 4 hours and just took notes, right? Like Tony Robbins says, he went to a Jim Rohn seminar, and if he said he wrote right? I didn't have to pay money because of the technology we have today in YouTube, but I still took it as if I paid that money and paid a ticket for that seat. And boy, did it give me a lot of insights of things that I knew and things that I already knew. And what I always say on this podcast is your voice is linked to somebody out there, right? Like, I could say the exact same words, but I might not be able to reach somebody like you can reach somebody. And your voice matters. Your inner fire matters, right? So as I'm sitting there and I'm taking notes and I'm writing notes, I'm realizing a lot of it is we want to work harder on ourselves than we do our own jobs, right? And what I mean by that is, I mean personal development and learning new things, right? We don't know what we don't know until we go after it and find it out. And as I'm taking notes and as I'm writing things down, it's small little things. As we listen to podcasts every single day, right? We read books. We listen to our favorite speakers. We listen to our favorite sermons. But out of all of those, how many do we actually sit down and take notes, right? Everything that we listen to has a small gem of knowledge, a small gem of something that is just pure gold inside of it. But we fail to take the opportunity to really let that sink in or really devour into ourselves, right? They say when you take notes, when you're writing, it engraves it into your brain a little deeper, right? Because you're using all of your senses, right? You're listening to it, with your ears, you're seeing it with your eyes, your movement, but you're using your movement and your feel and your touch, and you're writing it down. And as you're writing it down, your brain is remembering it, right? Our brain speaks in pictures, and that's how we understand. When we look at something, we identify something, but we identify it as what it looks like. If we're looking at a word, we identify what a word looks like by its meaning. Like, if you put letters together, it spells word. So when you see the word's actually a picture. And that's how your brain remembers it deeply. So I started doing that, and I started getting journals, and I started going through different podcasts and different documentaries, and I started jotting down the little things that caught my eye. And as I'm doing this, I realized that I'm starting to learn more, right? I'm starting to now get even more out of the podcast, even more out of the sermon, even more out of the video or the documentary that I'm looking at and I'm reading. But it's all about taking that action, taking that next step to do what others won't do so you can become what others can't. And I'm not saying that others can't become it, but if they won't do the work, if they won't take the action, then they'll never get there, right? Do or do not, there is no try. Last podcast, we were talking about dreaming. We were talking about our dreams and our goals and our aspirations that we have for each other and for ourselves. And a lot of times we never take the action to step towards that dream. But now if you find people who have done your dream and you want to get to where they are, start studying. Start taking those notes down. Start jotting those notes down, right? If you have an idea, keep a journal by your bedside or in a small little thing like this in your pocket and write down your ideas. Write down an idea that pops into your head when you're in the gym or when you're cooking, right? We have technology now where we can use our cell phones and open it up and put an audio idea inside our phone. So that way we can listen to it later. And I think a lot of that gets lost sometimes because it's so small and it's so minute, but it's so impactful and powerful because if you don't write it down or you don't jot it down anywhere, you're going to forget it. No matter how much you think that you're not going to, you're going to forget it. I think that small little tidbit from Mr. Rohn's seminar really changed my mind and my aspect on writing things down. And personal development, right? With our goals, we also have to make them not small, but we have to make them big. Make them something that lights us up. Make it something that makes us ecstatic and happy, right? Like example said, he went to a guy and asked the guy, what's your goals? And the guy's like, man, I just want to go to work so I can get enough money to pay these bills. It's like, wow. That's really going to wake you up in the morning, right? Just want to pay all these bills, right? And then he said that his teacher, Mr. Schoaf, told him, have a goal to become a millionaire. And it's not for the money, but it's what it makes of you to become a millionaire. What it changes you and changes your dynamic and changes your personality to become a millionaire. The things that you have to learn, the things that you have to deploy and change within your life and within yourself to become a millionaire. That's worth way more than the $1 million. Because when you get the $1 million the first time and you lose it all, you already have that millionaire mindset. You did it once. You can do it again and again and again and again. But if you don't take the time to take the action to work on yourself, to become something, to become that millionaire, you're never going to reach it because you don't know what it takes. You haven't become that person. So when you look at your dreams, who is that person that's staring back in the mirror at you? What is that version of you staring back in the mirror at you? Chase that. So once again, thank you for rocking with us here at the Voice of Woe podcast. If you click this video, it will take you to the next video or the last video that I uploaded. Check that out. It's all about dreams. I think you're going to love it. And again, if you want access to the Voice of Woe podcast, you can find it on YouTube and anywhere that podcast platforms are found. All the episodes are there. All the episodes are up. If you want access to the Woe Effect course, you could find that at studiowoe.com/order woe. Thank you for rocking with me. I'll see you in the next one.
3, 2, 1.
Vow to your creativity and tune into the Voice of Woe podcast.